for Q&A and everything else?
10 minutes.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. So, understanding, so getting down to that, making sure that you reintroduce yourself to your clients is really, really important. The most important thing was what Austin read out in that quote. The most important thing is doing. Actually getting out and doing this stuff. Most people, you might walk out of this room today going, well, that was great information. It's great information, and it always will be. Unless you use it, you won't profit from it. At Make Your Mark, we live by the CAP principle, the KAP. Knowledge, action, profit. The bridge between knowledge and profit is action. So how many of you are going to take action with some of the things you've learned this morning? Please do, it's critical. Otherwise it's just great knowledge sitting and watching someone present to you. I think you'll learn this about me, you might have learned it already about me. I'm very passionate about business owners taking the tools they have and implementing them. Because we go to lots of seminars, I watch people go to seminars all the time and get lots of knowledge but not do much with it. You know, at our programs, we have a follow-up program. It checks in with you once you've left the room. Within 10 days, we follow up with you to check in what's happening in your business according to what you promised to do at the event. No one touches us when it comes to follow-up. You know, in terms of seminar industry, most seminars, it's like, how can I, you know, I call them credit card seminars. Thanks for your credit card next. You know, and it really is. I'm all about, how can we follow up with our clients? I want our clients to be successful. The sad part is, today I actually, out of all the things on networking, because my car didn't go so well in the snow this morning, I decided to park at a SkyTrain station, but I left my business cards in the car, which is highly unusual for me.
I got these ones for you.
Which is good, thank you, man. Thank you. And you can see there's testimonials on the bottom of the cards, on the bottom of our tickets. Thank you, Ricky.
Yeah.
One of the key things about our tickets is that I say to people, I have a business card that's the shape of a coaster that's square. And people say to me, why do you have a business card that's square? It doesn't fit into my deck of cards. It won't fit in my Rolodex. It won't fit in anywhere. I go, great, it's not meant to. I don't want to be another card on your desk that doesn't stand out. And our business cards, we've got, our cards are all plastic coated, so you can actually put them on the table, and they're designed to be a coaster. And on the back of them we have currently 6 testimonials from clients with their photographs, just like you see on those tickets. And we actually put them face up with the testimonials on it. It creates a lot of great discussion at a networking event, or at a business lunch or what have you. Have you got some? Yeah. Oh, cool. You're more organized than I am. So these are our business cards. Well, actually, these are actually Cheryl's, which is fine. So we do different things. There's testimonials. We have so many testimonials. You look at us on LinkedIn. They come in consistently on LinkedIn for what we've done for people in their businesses. The most important thing, though, all I care about is that business owners get to the next level and take action with what they do in their business. And these people that are on the back of our cards, you can pass them around. Let's give one on the side. These people are people that have taken action with the stuff we teach and have got to the next level. It's really important for me that you take action and get to the next level. So if I finish off for the last few minutes, or before we run out of time, I'd like to get to follow-up. What is effective follow-up? What's effective follow-up?
Re-engaging.
Re-engaging, okay.
In a timely manner.
In a timely. So what's a timely manner?
I'd say within 48 hours, depending on what kind of a follow-up it is. It could be a half a year or a year if it's an ongoing client.
Absolutely. Okay. So I want to give you a good tip here. Some of you are brand new in business as well. How many of you are brand new to business? You're just starting out in your own business. Okay. One of the key things I always say to people when you first start out, don't over-service your clients. The reason being, you might have a lot of time on your hands. Number one, it indicates to them you have too much time on your hands. They might be your only client, and you don't ever convey that to your customer. Number one. And number two is, as you grow, you won't be able to maintain that level of service.
Right.
So I always say to people, when you're replying to emails, make it 24 to 48 hours, whatever is comfortable for you, as if you are extremely busy down the line. Because when you reply back to people in 10, 15 minutes, your first 3 or 4 clients, what happens is they get used to that. And then all of a sudden, when you start to get busy, they go, what's happened? Am I not important anymore? But if you tell them from day one, I'll get back to you within 24 hours, then take 6, 8, 10 hours to get back to them. Do not rush to get back to people. People go, but what about the early bird? Here's the thing, the only reason why you lose sales in business is because you don't have an effective relationship with the client. If you have a great relationship with them, and this is not in all cases, because sometimes there's B2B selling, which is really unusual, where you don't have a relationship with a client, it's a purchasing department that you have to have a relationship with, and that's not the client, you sell to somebody else. There's very specific cases that sometimes doesn't work. You have to do it in a very different way. But if people don't buy from you or go somewhere else, or you are nervous, if I don't get back to them in 20 minutes, they're going to go somewhere else, you have to ask yourself, how effective is my relationship with that client? How strong is the relationship I've built with them? I mean, we train a lot of this stuff, and I get people to understand what their value is. Understanding your value is really, really important. How many of you ever dropped your price in front of a client? Hourly rate, price of the product, what have you? Okay, there's very specific reasons why people drop their price. And understanding your value is one of the most important things you can learn in business, what your value is. And then never stop, and always understand your value is the most important thing you bring to a client. And I'll teach you one quick thing before we finish off tonight. I spoke about it last night, and this will really just, my goal to come out here today and just give as much knowledge as I can without overloading people, is for all of you, be the experts. I heard Rolf talking about being the expert in his field as a leader, as a lead donkey, as we talk about it. So be the expert in your field means the following. You don't have to call yourself an expert necessarily. There's enough of those out there that think they're experts, but they really aren't. They call themselves experts. I get stunned by some of the people that say they're experts. But the key thing is, I don't even like the word expert. Or guru or whatever. I think when you have great knowledge, you don't have to go out there and tell people and toot your horn. Just go out there and people will follow you anyways because of what you can deliver to them. But being the experts, the following is owning your knowledge and what you have and conveying it to the customer in a very succinct way. So let me give you an example here. So let me say I was dealing with Rolf and we're doing a financial plan. Okay. So I'm doing a financial plan with Rolf, and I say to Rolf says to me, so Colin, what do you want? Well, Rolf, I think I should invest in a few of these funds, I should do this, I should do that. Okay, Colin, I'll do it for you. Or you know what, I think you should change maybe to this fund or whatever, but otherwise, what you're looking for is pretty good. That's not being the expert. When a client, if you let the clients dictate to you what they want out of your product or service, that's not being the expert. Rolf should sit me down and say, Colin, let me tell you what it is that you really, really need. And if he's a true expert, he'll say, here's my investment in those stocks that I'm telling you to invest in. This is the reason why I'm in them, and this is the reason why I think you should be in them as well. And here's the thing, if you decide to do whatever else you want to do, then I'm not your financial planner. I think you should go somewhere else. I do not take on business that I know is going to fail. That's a choice we have as business owners. It's the same as I mentioned the one last night, being a chiropractor. If you've got a chiropractor with a spine that's out or some back ailment, whatever it is, or you've got headaches, you walk in, you do an intake form, and they do a survey of you or an analysis, and they say, the doctor says to you, you know what, you need to come and get some adjustments done. And the person goes, well, you know what, let's just do one and then we'll see how it goes. That doctor is actually doing that person a huge disservice. I train chiropractors. I train the spa industry as well. I do a lot of work in the spa industry. And one thing you have to understand is, a chiropractor says, here's what you need to do. You need to come back 3 times a week for the next 4 weeks, because by the time you get to the end of that, you no doubt will have the problem solved. Can't guarantee it though, because in the medical industry you can't guarantee anything. But the key thing is you do that. So what you need to do is go to our reception desk and buy 12 sessions. Because that's what you need. No, but I only want one, doc. You know what, if you only want one, I'm not the doctor for you. Because I know it's not going to give you the solution that you want.
That's a great point.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't sell ourselves strong enough. You have a solution for a client. Don't let the client break your solution. I'll use Austin for a second there. So Austin, you do web design. I think Randy as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So even if, let's say for Randy does web design. So if you go to Randy, so Randy says, So what do you want? And I tell him what I want. And he goes, great, I'll design that for you. Randy should say to me, I know for your industry that you're in, Colin, you're a speaker, you're a trainer, I've done my research. For your industry to be competitive against Tony Robbins and the big names out there, this is a site I'd recommend for you, and this is the reasons why. He would win me over, I would never go anywhere else. But most of them walk in and go, so what colors do you want, what design do you want, whatever, as web designers. I'm not saying Randy does that, but that's not being a professional and owning your expertise.
I have a question around
Sure.
that. You're absolutely right, and that's exactly what I work to do with people. But sometimes what I find is that then when I say, like I was just talking to Ashton a little bit about it before, you know, when you have a client and you say, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you need, it's easy for them to come back and then they're not very happy because they're like, well, he just doesn't listen to me, or he doesn't listen to what I want. And so, you know, so what do you say then? Do you go back with the, you know, they're not the client for you then?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's a discussion. It's a
What I do with clients, if a client comes to me and says, and I've had this happen before, like I said, I'm trying to go more towards kind of public relations, social media marketing training.
Right.
I still do some website stuff, but a past client of mine, he came to me and he said, I don't like the design. And I said, it's not what you like, it's what your visitors like. Simple as that. Right? Because what you can then do is you can say, listen, we're going to install analytics and we're going to show, I'm going to prove to you that the visitors like your site because of various reasons. Maybe they're navigating this way or that way, whatever. And you can use the insight from that by then reflecting it back to the client, saying, it doesn't matter what you like. I'm going to make you happy. I want to make you happy, but we need to make your site optimized for your visitors, not you.
Right.
Or no, like not for your taste.
So in terms
for your
of
visitors' taste.
so in terms of layout design, do you then think more? Do you work on a compromise with the client in that sense then?
I wouldn't really compromise. I mean, it's like a 5% compromise, right?
Yeah,
Like
okay.
if they like the colors, if they like the layout, it's fine.
Right.
But you want to really push this idea that it doesn't matter what you like. And when you say that, they see more value in your perspective and what you're offering them.
If I can add something here, maybe if you're basing your statements on fact, then you can always back up what you're saying.
That's
like
true.
you said, if you can show them the hot spots and the cold spots on the page,
exactly.
say, all the hot spots are below the horizon here,
Yeah.
nobody's seeing the important stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, one of the simple insights is you can just, if insights are installed, you know, Google Analytics, for example, in a freemium way, what you can do is you can say, listen, I know that you think, I mean, the homepage is always the most visited, but you think the page should look this way, right? You think the website should look, I don't know, for an artist, it should be more artsy. But what happens if the second page, and like I said, by default, the most trafficked page is the homepage, right? What if the second most important, which is in a way the most important in terms of the visitor's mindset, what happens if the second page in your analytics is the purchase page? It's like it's the purchase form where people are wanting to buy your art, right? Well, then you need to design the whole site for purchasing. You have to design it around, you know, you're going to optimize it, you're going to funnel the visitors more. So now you show the client, listen, we have to optimize it based on, you know what I mean? Like the layout now is more geared towards purchasing as opposed to artsy design. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it just goes back to, you have to be the expert. And if a client says, I don't like your design, I don't think you're spot on for the industry we're in, then maybe you listen to them and say, well, you know what, let me listen to what you have. And if they absolutely say to you, and you say you've done your research, you've done your homework, then you say to them, you know what, maybe I'm not the right designer for you. That's when you truly are the expert in the industry for what you do. The sad part is for most business owners, the check they're holding is more than you have in your business bank account at the time. So sometimes we decide to take on that account even though we don't really want it. And that's only downgrading our value and downgrading the quality of our business. You know, when people come to me, and I haven't got it with me here, I actually should have bought my banner this morning, is that we have a system of courses that people go through. It starts off with what we call our business masteries, and then from business mastery it goes through to the different courses that we have. They're in a system. Why? Because that's what we know works for business owners. We say number one is exposure warrior. Why? Get out and expose your business. That's number one. And then number two, sales strategies. And then number 3, you won't be able to see it from here, but it's a